So let me even start with this one that shocked me, because I'm like, okay, let me not be surprised. Let me not say I was shocked. Let me not say I was shocked. I think it's something that happens, but this time around, budget exposed it. So apparently, there was an exposure by budget that the National Assembly inserted 11,000 dubious projects worth 6.93 trillion naira in the 2025 budget. We go they complain, people they suffer, people know they chop food. See how they just insert budget where project where they no go execute. Then they use and pack money, correct money for their generations yet unborn. Me and you, we just dey here, we just dey sit down, they look, they do meh. Hi God. Okay, so just here, there was a sweep of outrage across Nigeria's civil society space following revelations that the National Assembly inserted over 11,000 suspicious projects in the 2025 national budget, amounting to a staggering 6.93 trillion naira. You know, we were complaining that this 2025 budget is overly ambitious. It's too much. How were they going to finance the 2025 budget? What exactly were they going to use to finance that 2025 budget? Just be here, This expose was released by civic tech organization Budget. They raised serious questions about transparency, fiscal discipline, and the integrity of the appropriation process under President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration. In its analysis of the 54.9 trillion naira 2025 Budget flagged the insertions as opacity-enabled anomalies, suggesting that the projects were strategically padded into the budget by federal lawmakers for self-serving interest. Now, according to what Budget disclosed, that the insertions were shrouded in ambiguity, lacking in alignment, ambiguity like something bogus, something big, whereby you just, okay, since it's for this thing, okay, let's just pass across it. Let's not really look into it. Now, it was lacking in alignment with national development priorities, representing a blatant misuse of public funds. In fact, this is what the group noted, that these projects often bypass the needs assessments of ministries, departments, and agencies, making them not only unstrategic, but potentially wasteful. Many of these projects, Budget alleged, are poorly defined, duplicative, or simply ghost projects that exist only on paper. So, they are being presented as constituency interventions. The total cost of these insertions dwarfs capital allocations for key sectors. So you can imagine we are complaining about the debilitating nature of our educational sector, the poor public infrastructure for our educational sector, the lack of a conducive environment publicly for our educational sector. Then that is not even the only thing. Our healthcare facilities, very poor. Go to all our public healthcare facilities, very poor. They're unable to cater to the needs of the people that they're meant to take care of. Our nurses and doctors are jackpotting out of the country because they're not duly paid. A lot of them are underpaid. Some of them are not even qualified. So they even look at all these emergency nurses to help bridge the porosity of the vacuum. Now, all these ghost projects, these padded projects where the money then go assign, but there's nothing. That money is going into people's pockets, into people's personal finance. That's how sad this unfortunate situation is. Just listen to this. So, alarmingly, Budget revealed that in some cases, lawmakers allocated billions of naira to small federal agencies that are incapable of executing the scope or scale of the assigned projects. In fact, they expressed concerns about how some lawmakers reportedly bullied MDAs during budget defense sessions to secure space for their pet project. I need to go to the House of Assembly. I need to be a senator, a lawmaker. Look where go. Look at money. Jehovah. Okay, we're going to look into that. Now, another one is this. The DSS has denied that it was not them, that they were not involved in the arrest of Nnamdi Kanu in Kenya. They were not involved in the extraordinary rendition of Nnamdi Kanu in Kenya. So today, the cross-examination of the witness, BBB, who is a DSS operative, continued. In that particular process of for example, the DSS, this particular operative stated that their own operations is strictly confined into Nigeria's territorial borders. And this cross-examination by the prosecution, who this witness identified as BBB, who is also an intelligence officer within the DSS, disclosed that their ability to operate beyond Nigerian borders, particularly regarding the alleged involvement in Nnamdi Kanu's case, is untrue. That is not within their purview. He firmly stated that the agency lacks the jurisdiction to carry out arrests outside Nigeria, further asserting that the DSS operates only within the nation's borders. So maybe not SSS or NIA. But maybe there were collaborations with Interpol, because I spoke with Mr. Delefanimo during the World News at 6, and he says that, well, there is Interpol. But I remember at the time when Nnamdi Kanu was brought to Nigeria that they asked the Kenyan authorities their involvement in this because they called it kidnapping. The Kenyan authorities handsed off and said that they had nothing to do with this. They denied having anything to do with his extraordinary rendition to Nigeria. I remember very, very well. All right. So the witness further clarified that the DSS operational structure, stating that the agency is under the office of the National Security Advisor and operates independently from political influence. So they asked them if the DSS as a unit is used for political situations, all right, where some politicians will use DSS to either harass, intimidate, influence, deduce, anything. And he actually denied and said the DSS is not involved into any political alignment. They're not involved into anything that has to do with any political interest. But a couple of Nigerians will not agree to that. For example, with the NANS president, where we heard that he was being detained by the DSS under the supervision or order of President's son. If that is not a political inclination, I don't know what that is. Okay, so according to what the BBB particular witness discloses, that they also rely, that's the DSS relies on various sources, which includes human intelligence, social media, and other channels, asserting that its operatives are well trained to gather information as needed. So you see all this information that we pass on social media, all these conversations, all these talks, DSS monitors people's accounts, monitors what they say, try to understand where they get the source of their information, especially if some information are too secretive to be released on social media. DSS will target that account and ask questions. How did that person get to know certain information? So all these things that are said on social media, specifically on X, the DSS uses it to gather information about how people feel in the country, about certain situations in the country. So whatever you release on social media, they monitor it, they know. What is heartbreaking is that the concerns of Nigerians are not quickly attended to, because social media is the only means through which Nigerians are easily able to express themselves in real time. Another situation to look into is concerning insecurity. So this particular group, they're called Shekau, a new Boko Haram group called Shekau. They emerged and they issued threats against the Chief of Defense Staff, they issued threats against clerics, they issued threats against the Nigerian military, and they issued threats against Nigerians, that is the citizens within the purview that they operate. They warned the Chief of Defense Staff to stop terrorizing them. They also took the opportunity. They said that this is basically what they disclosed. For example, they said every soldier defending democracy is their enemy, that even if you're a Muslim and you're wearing that uniform, it makes you one of them, and that they will fight you. That is what they said, that they will fight. They also disclosed that they told the military men, that is the soldiers, to leave the job, that they can barely feed their families. So why are they joining that particular unit? They should come and follow them. In fact, the Muslim clerics who oppose Boko Haram's extremist views were also targeted. They also said scholars misleading the people, calling us unbelievers, be warned. If you don't support us, that's fine, but defame us and we will deal with you. They also went ahead to call out traders and civilians who are supporting the military. They said anyone aiding, supporting them, providing them information against them, that they will be killed. That was the threat. Well, security analysts have said that maybe this is what you call a means of psychologically chainsawing people. When you chainsaw people psychologically, put in fear in them. So whatever it is that they know, they will not want to divulge it to you. That's, what a couple of security analysts are saying. But this is a very worrisome development. Very worrisome development, to be honest with you. And it is very important. The Chief of Defense Staff, before the president traveled to Rome, came out and told us after they met with the president at the time during a closed-door meeting that they have everything under control. That is what Chief of Defense Staff said to us, Christopher Musa. He said that they have everything under control. So if you have everything under control, what is this? What is the meaning of this? What exactly we have? We saw a particular group called Mahmuda, La Kurawa, and now another group called Shekau. In the space of, let's say, 6 or 7 months, these terrorist groups all emerged. in the space of 6 or 7 months, different offshoots of the group emerged. So please, which one should we believe? The chief of army staff or the chief of defense staff telling us that I have everything under control? I remember when he had an interview with one of the journalists, Al Jazeera journalist, he actually told us that he told the Al Jazeera journalist that they actually think that there is an international whatever infusion into the whole ordeal based on hard currency. But the journalist asked, do you need help? Do you need external help? And he says that no, that they're very capable in doing what needs to be done. They just need synergy. They need hardware, they need weapons, and they need proper training. That's the kind of assistance they require. But if it has to do with dealing with those guys, that they know what to do. So if that is the case, how come you've had 3 offshoots from Boko Haram in the space of 6-7 months? Lakorawa, Mamuda, and now Shekau. All right, let's look at how these things go. Meanwhile, Governor Zulum has come out to say that politicians, military officers are among Boko Haram informants. He actually made this statement today. He accused some military officers and politicians of being informants and collaborators for Boko Haram terrorists. He vowed to ruthlessly deal with saboteurs, frustrating the efforts of his administration in tackling insurgency in the state. The governor also said that his administration will strengthen its intelligence network to overcome terrorists and the saboteurs. The question is, if you know that there are politicians and military officers amongst the top echelon in the security enclave providing delicate and sensitive information to the Nigerian, to the Boko Haram, that is the insurgents, then how do you want to deal with this? Is it not by first of all clearing out the system within the military or within the security operatives or the intelligence gathering units? Look at what happened in Mate. So it's a very worrisome development, to be honest with you. Meanwhile, El-Rufai don't dey talk. El-Rufai has been speaking lately. He spoke so confidently. He said, for example, that they are going to send Tinubu back to Lagos. And he confirmed their coalition talk. He says that Atiku, Peter-Atiku and him are obviously, they had a talk yesterday up until like 8 p.m. or 9 p.m. last night. And based on that meeting, there is a positivity of a kind of synergy amongst them. El-Rufai said that President Bola Tinubu will be sent back to Lagos State, while his minister Bosun Tijani, who according to him is doing a great job, but would be retained in the next administration. Also, the Vice President, Atiku Abubakar, based on, and the former Vice President, rather, Atiku Abubakar, and PDP's presidential candidate in 2023, ex-Labour Party presidential candidate Peter-Atiku and El-Rufai have adopted the African Democratic Congress as the official platform of the opposition coalition. This I don't believe, because I spoke with Yunusa Tanko yesterday. He said if there is anything, we would hear. And why I don't believe that is that today, the Labour Party under Nenadu Usman decided to take swift action by taking over the Labour Party by fire by force. Today, the National Executive Committee of the Labour Party held a meeting. They had a press conference. It was detailed, it was extensive, and they want to take the party up by force. They have said that this time around, they will no longer allow Abure, they will not allow INEC to create the disparity, the friction within the party. And remember yesterday that the Anambra elections, the primaries that was conducted under Julius Abure's faction, that INEC was also part of it. And it obviously they gave credit to the candidate that was chosen. Later we came out to hear that INEC is giving a different narrative. So I want us to take a brief listen to this because it's quite lengthy. I'm going to call my analyst this evening, and that's Barrister Evans Ufeli. We're going to be discussing these issues. They're very delicate, they're very important, but we're going to look into it. So let's listen to the National Executive Committee of the Labour Party, being headed by Nenadu Usman today. They had a comprehensive meeting. They invited the press. They're taking the Labour Party by force, and they're no longer allowing Julius Abure to actually continue with what he's doing. In fact, they had the attendance of the Nigerian Labour Congress, that's the NLC, there as well. So let's listen to this.
Party has been engulfed in leadership crisis since early last year, which culminated into the Supreme Court judgment of the 4th of April this year, which finally put to rest all the erroneous rulings of the lower court. It is a fact that the leaders of the party have, at various occasions, intervened to resolve the leadership crisis in the party, but these interventions failed because they fell short of the demands of the party constitution, the Electoral Act, and the highly acceptable legally mutual agreement of the parties popularly referred to as the consent judgment of the Federal High Court, Abuja. After the last one-year tenure extension of Barrister Julius Abure-led National Working Committee in Asaba Delta State by the National Executive Council for the party in 2023, the Julius Abure-led National Working Committee, in total disregard to the party's constitution, electoral acts, and the consent judgment, went ahead to conduct a town hall meeting at Inewi, Anambra State on March 27, 2024, and termed it the National Convention of the Labour Party. This town hall meeting was rejected by the custodians of the party and the stakeholders because it fell short of the minimum requirement of the consent judgment of the Federal High Court, Abuja, the party constitution, and the Electoral Act of 2022, which granted the party members the right to elect delegates at the state congresses that will vote at the National Convention to elect the party leadership. Most party leaders boycotted the Inewi Town Hall meeting because neither the party's constitution nor the Electoral Act was a contestant allowed to conduct his own election and select the voters that will vote in the election he or she is contesting. The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, duly rejected the Inewi Town Hall meeting because it was not done in accordance with the Electoral Act, Section 83, subsection 135 of 2022, which says that, and I quote, every registered political party shall give INEC at least a 21-day notice of any convention, congress, conference, or meeting convened for the purpose of merger and electing members of its executive committees, other governing bodies, or nominating candidates for any of the elective offices specified in this act, failure of which renders such meetings, congresses, conventions invalid. The INEC has also affirmed that there was no evidence of congresses at the state level to elect delegates that will vote at the convention. All these anomalies rendered Barrister Julius Abure's alleged convention totally invalid. In order to remedy the situation, the Nigeria Labour Congress Political Commission and the stakeholders set up the National Transition Committee on the 23rd of May 2024, last year, to midwife an all-inclusive Congress and conventions in accordance with the Federal High Court consent judgment. Though the INEC was notified, the INEC refused the recognition of the NTC, the National Transition Committee, due to the non-compliance with the party's constitution as in Article 14, Section 2B, subsection 18, subsection 14, and the Electoral Act, Section 82135 of 2022, in setting up the National Transition Committee. After June 8, 2024, the INEC declared from her record that the tenure of Barrister Julius Abure-led National Working Committee had expired, and there was no valid leadership for the party. Then, Barrister Abure went to two separate courts to challenge the position of INEC on Labour Party leadership and the NTC NLC for attempting to recover the party. On September 4th, last year, 2024, the stakeholders met in Umuahia and set up the National Caretaker Committee of the party, which was allegedly not recognized by the INEC because, according to INEC, it was not done in accordance with the party's constitution, as again in Article 14, subsection 2, and Electoral Act, Section 82135 of 2022. The National Caretaker Committee and INEC appealed to the Supreme Court, and in line with the constitutional justice, the Supreme Court nullified the erroneous rulings of the lower courts, thereby affirming the earlier position of INEC that the tenure of Barrister Abure-led National Working Committee had expired. With the expiration of the tenure of Barrister Julius Abure-led National Working Committee, coupled with the non-recognition of any other National Working Committee by INEC, as explained above, the leadership of the party's Board of Trustees, who are members of the National Executive Council with the first line of responsibility to the party, and also without any issue of non-recognition by INEC or tenure expiration, have decided to call for this special NEC meeting of the party for the purpose of reinvigorating the party. This special National Executive Council meeting is called in accordance with the party's constitution, Article 14, Section 2B, the Electoral Act, Section 8, Subsection 135 of 2022, and mandatory 21 days minimum notice is complied with, a 28 days advance notice to INEC, which we actually complied with. It is noteworthy that some key stakeholders of the party are also invited to witness the proceedings of this special NEC meeting. It is in this wise that we are welcoming all of you here so that you witness the NEC in session. It is our strong conviction that a process towards the election of a credible leadership of our dear party will emerge from this NEC meeting. Consequently, we invite all of you who are NEC members to make your contribution toward these issues that currently surround our party.
Okay, so that's basically what was disclosed today during that press conference. And if that is the case, then I don't understand how El-Rufai is verifying that Peter-Atiku and Atiku, they are coming together along with him, with their coalition, and that they are sending Tinubu packing. They are sending him back to Lagos. El-Rufai also said that he's very happy with the massive defections from the opposition political parties into the APC. It says it's very, very good that when the implosion commences, that they will literally be confused. He also disclosed that that is how you get to know who the politicians are, and that the APC think that he is at a crossroads, thinking that persons he's been speaking with have not been giving him any body language. He said they're all mere propaganda. He also accused the APC of infiltrating political parties to sow seeds of discourse. He lamented that the APC might make an attempt to destabilize the Social Democratic Party, which he recently joined. You remember yesterday we heard that already the Social Democratic Party was already having a National Working Committee issue. So meaning that El-Rufai and his people, possibly they want to impose their own persons. Adebayo too, these are the original persons in the SDP as well, don't want all of that imposition. And so that was the story we had. Or for the SDP to come out and tell us that that wasn't true, that it's just a job of propagandists, nothing like that is happening. And El-Rufai is coming out to verify that the APC is sowing seeds of discord into any of this political party. Well, Atiku yesterday, we heard that he was going to the ADC, a different political party. Peter-Atiku has come out to tell us that his visit in Rome had no political agenda whatsoever. It was just, he saw the president, he greeted the president. The next thing, we saw Sahara reporters releasing a report about Fidelity Bank having some financial issues. When that did not work, when evidence was presented and the court said there is nothing like that, the board management of the bank said there's nothing like that. Sahara reporters now came and wrote that Peter-Atiku went to Rome to speak with Tinubu through Kayode Fayemi to help him with the Fidelity Bank crisis and trust the APC. Immediately, Daniel Bwala came out and said, how does Peter Obi want to rule a country when he cannot even handle the situation in Fidelity Bank? Again, very true. This is the era of propaganda. Political parties will be using propaganda to create discord. El-Rufai is saying that the APC is like a virus. They enter, they create issues. This, for example, let me read out what he said. He said, there has been an influx of members, but as part of that influx, we also expect that the sitting government and ruling party will try to inject viruses into the party to create a crisis, as it has done, or they have done, in the Labour Party, the New Nigerian People's Party, and the PDP. So El-Rufai is confirming to us that the situation in the Labour Party is caused by the APC. The situation with the PDP that seems to be unresolved is caused by the APC, and the New Nigerian People's Party as well is caused by the APC. Remember, El-Rufai worked very closely with this political party. El-Rufai El-Rufai work to ensure that Tinubu comes on board. El-Rufai knows the nitty-gritty of the happenings and their strategy and political workings in the APC. So for him to come out and make all of this disclosure, obviously he has something, he knows what he is talking about. Well, like I told you, my guest this evening is Barrister Evans Ufeli. He'll be the one I'll be speaking with today, and he'll be helping to give us insight into some of these issues. Remember the issues we discussed, the situation with Nnamdi Kanu, the DSS denying that they were not involved in his extraordinary rendition, the 11.6 trillion naira padding of the budget. That budget was able to disclose. That's another thing. The emergence of a new group calling themselves Shekau, threatening the Chief of Defense Staff, clerics, and other Nigerians who try to support the military and support the Chief of Defense Staff and all the arms of government against them. Those are major threats. And El-Rufai confirming to us that they've sealed the deal. That is him, Peter-Atiku Abubakar, for the new political party. They haven't told us when, and they haven't told us who the presidential candidate of this coalition will be. All I know is that Atiku mentioned ADC, but for Peter Obi, he has not said anything directly to anyone. Yesterday, I spoke with Yunusa Tanko, and Yunusa Tanko told us, or rather, based on that conversation, that if there is anything, all right, he will definitely alert us. He will tell us exactly what it is. So if that is the case, how come the Nnamdi Usman committee, which is in favor of Peter Obi, in favor of Alex Oti, decide to take over the leadership of the Labour Party today by force? They don't care what Julius Abure wants to do. The press conference they held today had all the elders part of it today, and they all spoke in one voice. They invited the NLC, is also a stakeholder of that political party. A lot is going to emerge this period. Somebody said something big is coming. Something big is happening. So right now, I would like to speak with Barrister Evans Ufeli. He is a legal practitioner. He understands most of what is going on. I'm sure you've been listening to him in the news lately, speaking on some of these current issues and giving us his own perspective, specifically from the legal front, what it entails. He actually sued JAM recently about 20 billion naira for the students whom their results, they were not able to properly coordinate it. So he actually has a voice in this. Barrister Evans Ufeli, good evening, and thank you for joining us on the Evening Rush.
Very well. Good evening.
Good evening, sir. Thank you so much. I know I called you at the very last minute. Barrister Evans, let's look at the budget padding today that was disclosed by budgets. I will not lie to you, I was a little bit astounded, but later I was like, Nigeria we dey. This one are levels, the normal pattern, but it's unfortunate. It's a malay that we shouldn't tolerate as a system. So 54.9 trillion naira of the 2025 appropriation bill. Budget flagged insertions, which they called opacity-enabled anomalies. Barrister Evans Ufeli, do you know that some House of Rep members inserted over 11,000 suspicious projects, which cost about 6.9 trillion naira? Projects that they cannot defend, projects that have no head, projects that have no destination, that they even threaten MDAs to create space for projects that they know they will not execute. In fact, they also assign projects to a lower level of the federal arm of government. These people do not even have the capacity to take care of or handling such projects. So the money will come, they will collect it, put it in their pockets, and then they will tell us that, oh, they're waiting, they're working. So how does this examine issues? Is it that the president is not aware of this kind of over-bloated? Because anybody that says the truth there, you enter pala, you enter trouble. You remember Senator Ningi. So what is this?
This government is the government of catch my back and catch your back. You understand? The president saw that and still gave his assent to it. You look at some of the things they are talking about, Oji River, street light. Street light at where? Street light at where? No address, no location, nothing, just street light. Which humongous amount of money. So, when you look at the law, it is not even the law that the legislature can make impact, okay? They can make they can oversight the budget, okay? But they cannot fit in items themselves inside the budget. They cannot, it's not allowed by law. But in Nigeria, it has become physical irresponsibility that the lawmakers now not only insert projects into the budget, but they now pad it with humongous amount of money. Humongous amount of money, where they will share at the end of the day.
So when you have a president that is porous, that allows for criminality to fester, and then in turn, the House member will now also help him to get his own whatever it is he wants to do. They will help him to sail it through. They will help him to retire it so that everything will land safely for the president benefit. That's what's going on. At the expense of the masses, at the expense of you and I, who are citizens of the country. And with this kind of budget, this country cannot move forward. It was a shock this morning when we discussed it on the radio station this morning, and it is one very difficult subject matter this morning. I had headache causing it because I was wondering, how do you do this kind of a thing in this time and age where you know that the country, the citizens are suffering, there's difficulties in and you know what? These issues, the justice, they will put them on first line charge. You'll be surprised. You'll be surprised all of them will be released before even main project will be released. They will release money for all those things. So they quickly, they keep padding the budget every year. But don't want anybody to.
You remember when Senator Ningi revealed this and how the House acted as if he committed a major offense, or he said something he was not supposed to say. This man was suspended for 3 months. So this is budget. It was budget that revealed this. If you hear how budget exposed this thing, if you hear how they exposed this thing, they said that the projects often bypass the needs assessment of ministry departments and agencies, that it makes them not only unstrategic but also wasteful, that many of the projects are poorly defined, they are duplicative, or simply ghost projects that exist only on paper. The National Assembly is concerned about creating documentary for the president's two years in office. Barrister Evans Ufeli. Do you know that there's a new terror group called Shekau that has come out? Shekau is threatening General Christopher Musa, threatening clerics, threatening Nigerians, threatening traders, that anybody supporting the Nigerian military, that they are going to deal with them. Barrister Evans Ufeli, in the space of 6-7 months, we've had 3 different terror groups emerge with different names. Maybe they're the same people with different names. We've had Lakurawa, we've had Mahmuda, and now this one is Shekau. Just a few days ago, the Chief of Defense Staff came out to address the press after he finished meeting with the president before he traveled to Rome, because the president had a security meeting with them, which I thought I would hear the president put the gavel down and say, you guys, are you joking? What are you doing? What information do you have about these guys? Chief of Defense Staff came to address the press that they have everything under control and implored the media to please help them, that maybe we should not really report these issues, that it discourages the morale of the soldiers. Barrister Evans Ufeli, a few days ago, we saw what happened in Mate, Borno State, how soldiers, young boys of 16, 17, 18, 20 years were murdered, like as if they're animals. And he came to tell us that they can handle things, that everything is under control. Biko, what is this? Who is Shekau?
Nothing is under any control. When the Chief of Defense Staff is telling you that something is under control, nothing is under control. He does not know what to do. He's at loss with all that is going on. The sponsors of Boko Haram, they say they want to prosecute. How far have they prosecuted them? There are new ones that are emerging by this day because the old ones have not been sanctioned. They've not been named. They've been named, they've not been prosecuted, and they are still going about their businesses. So you will keep having more sponsors, more groups emerging, because there's no sanction, there's no punishment for those doing the wrong thing in the country. So it's quite unfortunate that we are witnessing this at this time. The National Assembly that's supposed to be the saving grace of the people is sold out already. The presidency is nowhere to be found. The judiciary is aloof, waiting for people to get petitions for prosecution. So the country is rudderless as we speak. It's unfortunate that we are watching this thing, we are thinking. And those who are the helm of affairs, who are the ones who guide this country, they are rather balkanizing it to share the people. And so that whatever is left of the country, whether the country ends fold up or wound up, they would have collected their share. What that's exactly how it looks like. And that's a very dangerous way to live. It's a very dangerous way to live. And I think it has come to a point where the masses will have to rise and define what their destiny wants to look like.
You rise how, sir? What do you want them to do?
Yes, they should come out to speak against the status quo.
How many times have they risen up to speak, sir? How many times?
It's not about how many times. It's not about how many times. There's no number of times there's enough. As long as things are getting worse.
Is it the people that will speak and they will use state powers to silence them? Do you know that they've set a date for Pat Utomi's to present himself in court? The DSS sued him. Meanwhile, this same government in 2015 also made a declaration for a shadow government. They said there was nothing wrong in it. I remember I played the interview here. Seun Okinbaloye spoke with Professor Yemi Oshibajo then, who defended the shadow government and said that the essence of the shadow government was to put the government of the day in order, to check them, to criticize all the things that they do, that there's nothing wrong with it. Seun asked that professor then, and Seun asked Professor Yemi Oshibajo that, don't you consider it anarchy for you to say you want to establish a shadow government? We did not see DSS sue anybody. We didn't see the government of the day come and thump them down and say you have no right to establish a shadow government. So when you say that the people should say something, in what way? The people that the state arms will use and stifle them, or they will slam them with treasonable charges? I don't understand.
It does not matter. It does not matter how far and how long they slap them or stifle them or brush them down. Okay, because when you, silence is admission. Okay, when the people continue to keep silence and lukewarm, okay, for dragging, then they'll continue to take them for a ride. So we should not be tired of calling the people out to come and stand against these wicked people. We shouldn't be tired of that, because we need to consistently call the people to do what they ought to do under the law. They have a right to assemble and air their grievance.
Barrister Evans Sufeli, what is the problem with the opposition leaders? Why are they not speaking in one voice? You have an Omoyele Sowore who is an activist, who actually has a strong voice, who knows how to galvanize people to speak to truth to power. But you see him criticizing the fellow opposition. Well, we are all opposition. Even if you're not going to join parties or merge, you're supposed to have a common interest, which is to check the current political party of the day or check the government of the day. Very recently, Sahara reporters released something about Fidelity Bank, making some proclamations about it. Evidence was brought that those proclamations were not true. They deleted it from their website. Now came back again to write that Peter Obi traveled to Rome to meet the president to beg about Fidelity Bank. So you wonder what is going on. Is there a motive? Why this particular paper or individual on Peter Obi? Is there a past that we're not aware of, that we don't know, that you now relegate or degenerate to propaganda when you don't have any substantive claim, any substantive evidence to back what you're backing up? We've never heard Peter Obi say anything in any form in response to this. So if the politics, if the opposition is divided amongst themselves, is it not a clean sweep for the current government of the day?
The opposition are not uniform, because each of the blocks you have, each of the blocks of the opposition you have, are only fighting for themselves and for their own political party or group. They are not fighting for Nigeria. If they are fighting for Nigeria, by now all of them should have come together to form a block. Okay, get merger from more political parties and see how they can stand against the APC and defeat them. But that's not the case. It's absolutely that they are not working together. So even all this opposition we are seeing, many of them are also a risk to the country's future, because now that they are not working together and they come out to tell us that all they are doing is for the good of Nigeria, to make sure Nigeria comes back to shape. Why are we sure that they are still looking to present Nigeria when they can come? Because they are not even working together in the first place to make that dream of a Nigeria of their dream cost the power. They are not working together to do so. why should you believe them fully whether they are doing what for that purpose? So it's difficult to believe them. That's what I mean. Because over time, there's a predicted that the leadership is rallying point. You can call for redemption. They've not done that. They're only talking about my own group, that group. The reason El-rufai is fighting today because he didn't get any appointment. God has gotten any appointment. He will not find him anywhere. And working for any fighting against Tinubu. Okay. So it's that kind of selfishness you want to use to define the next level of this where this country is going to. Of course not. So that's why I keep saying the people who are the beneficiaries of this cause, the cause of the Nigerian project, must come out. Okay? Must come out in their domes and make a statement. And that is what it is. I'm not talking about civil society where they go collect money. I'm talking about civil organizations like bodies whose objectives are clear and their modus operandi is transparent. So we've lost touch with of this kind of organization that have the capacity to deal with issues properly. So now what we are doing is just a fragmentation. We're actually not going anywhere with this, with the way we are acting. And I think this is very unfortunate.
But Barrister Evans, you feel you're very right. It's very unfortunate. So let's look at situation within political parties. For example, we have El-rufai confirming to us that they are sending Tinubu back to Lagos. That's what he said. He also confirmed that Peter-Atiku coalition and that for ahead of 2027 and that they will send President Tinubu back to Lagos by the end of his first term. So basically, they held a meeting yesterday, and according to what he said, that they had concluded. But he did not disclose to us if, for example, it's the ADC that they're all going to and whom the presidential flag bearer for that particular party will be. But I have an issue with what El-rufai is confirming to us, because he made a lot of statements. He said that the APC is like a virus, that they're the ones causing the problem in the Labour Party, in the New Nigerian People's Party, including the PDP. He says that they are the ones causing discord amongst party members in this opposition unit. And then he also disclosed to us that the ex-Labour Party presidential candidate and Atiku, that they have adopted the African Democratic Congress as the official platform of the opposition coalition. But I have an issue with it because yesterday when I spoke with Tinubu, he said that they cannot give any credibility to that information. Peter Obi is also saying that he cannot be part of any coalition that is all about power grabbing. He's going to be part of a coalition that is all about good governance and fighting poverty and hunger. And today, there was a press conference organized by the Nenadi Usman-led committee of the Labour Party. They also invited the stakeholders of the NLC. There was a press conference today, and they really want to take the Labour Party back from Julius Aburi. They reeled out the infraction from INEC. They reeled out how the Supreme Court has also disqualified Julius Aburi and why he is remaining there. So they are deciding to take a new path within their party. So the Nenadi Usman has the support of Peter Obi and Alex Oti. So if Peter Obi intends to leave the Labour Party, would we see this particular move by the National Executive Committee members of the Nenadi Usman faction within the Labour Party to take over the leadership of the Labour Party by force or whichever way they want to get it? So how do we clarify what El-rufai is disclosing to us and making threats to the president that they will bring him back to Lagos?
El-rufai has not stated the party that is going to be in. Okay? Even though yesterday we were saying that whichever party is going to be in is a party that will ensure that they take Tinubu down. Okay? They have not said whether it's going to be in Labour or whatever party. Now, what I expected from Nenadi Usman and the leadership of the LP is to see how they can clean and resolve the issue. So if El-rufai is coming to Labour, he should pull himself through. And if Atiku definitely will not come to Labour, I don't think so. I think because because El-rufai is gone through, and he wants to prove a point now. El-rufai is a very viable person to work with because he's been gone through.
Hello, sir. What did you say? You said El-rufai is disgruntled, but that he's also a very viable person to work with.
Yes, he's very.
Barrister Evans.
El-rufai wants to make a point.
Okay.
He wants to prove to Tinubu that he has the capacity to bring it down. You understand?
Okay.
So anybody that is opposition now can really make an alliance with El-rufai. Can have a good alliance with El-rufai to project that. As long as it is genuine that El-rufai is out there to bring Tinubu down, oppositions can easily work with each other. Because you see, when you have a friend and then you have an enemy, the enemy, your friend will want to remain your friend, the enemy wants to make a point. They want to prove a point to your so-called enemy, let me say, your former enemy. Because he's coming out now asking for coalition. Do you understand? The last election he worked for Tinubu, he was part of those who brought Tinubu to office. He was even part of those who brought Buhari to office. They are the ones that went to, bring all those insurgents into the country. Okay, they are the ones that did that and all that to use to fight against Jonathan if he refused to relinquish power. Jonathan eventually relinquished power. Okay, and today that is wrong. So that gunpowder of violence I want to unleash.
Okay.
He wants to unleash it those whom he worked with before. Then he now needs those whom he worked against before to have that done. Do you understand me?
Okay. Well, Barrister Evans Sufeli, if that is the case, political permutations are on. What is the presidency going to do about the spate of insecurity in the country, Barrister? It's really disheartening. All the sectors are strangulated. I wouldn't lie to you. The reality of the situation on ground is the fact that things are very slow. The Nigerian Senate seems to be very wrapped up in trying to curate a documentary that places the administration in good light. Everything they've been working ahead of is doing a compilation to reel out all the achievement of the president in the first 2 years. But there are endemic issues that has really not been addressed. Insecurity has not been addressed, and food security. Barrister Evans, the insecurity in the country is so bad that farmers can't go to their farm. You're having terrorists take over people's farmlands. Like there's a deliberate effort to shortchange people and stop them from having access to food, whereby they become hungry, and it creates unrest. Secondly, Barrister, there is a resurgence of police brutality. Do you know that the final year student in Makurdi was killed by the police? There was a protest in Benue State University today. They organized a protest in Makurdi. Also, a young boy was accidentally killed by stray bullets very recently. We have seen incidents and videos of police harassing citizens and individuals over what that they could literally amicably resolve. You treat ordinary Nigerians like criminals. So it's a worrisome development. Is there a deliberate effort to destabilize this country, specifically by institutions that are meant to uphold the stability of this nation? And I'm talking about the Nigerian police. The IGP has come out to say that they have that particular person who killed that young child in their custody and proper investigation will be carried on. What about other anomalies and atrocities committed by these individuals? What is the orientation process like within the Nigerian police? Who are the persons they bring out on the street and arm them with bullets? Bullets that are meant to use to fight criminals, but you're using to fight and murder and kill people who are literally trying to survive. So what is the modus operandi here?
Nigerian police is finished. Nigerian police is not an organization. There is no police officer in Nigeria as to speak today, 2025, that is out there to protect any citizen. All of them are using their uniforms, their guns, their whatsoever ammunition they have to earn money for themselves. So, raid communities.
Hello, sir. Barrister Evans, are you still there?
Hello, I'm responding. Hello?
Okay, go ahead.
Hello, I said the Nigerian police is... There is no policeman in Nigeria as we speak in 2025 that is out there to protect any citizen. No. They are using their ammunition, their bullets, their uniform, everything they have to provide for themselves, to harass people, threaten them, coerce them, make sure that they squeeze out whatever amount of money they can squeeze out from people. That's what they are doing every day. It's for their daily bread. When you ask them, they will say they are underfunded. So, because they are funded, they have abandoned their primary responsibility, which is to protect lives and property. They've abandoned that, and they are now using the authority of the state to, threaten the state, threaten the citizens, and force them, force money out of them. That's what is going on now. Okay? So, gone are the days where you say the responsibility of the police to protect life and property. That's theory now. Okay? It's about survival right now. That is why you can see them open fire at any point. From frustration to lack of training to all sorts of wickedness. They just unleash evil on people, and then in exchange for gratification, they collect money is no longer in use. Okay, that some of them carry clear is no longer in use. That they can stop you on the road and force you to drop your money or whatever is no longer in use. So the country has gone really, really bad. Nobody is looking after this country. Nobody is looking after the country. Nobody is looking after the country. And because of that, it will take us a long time to recover from this. Redemption is very far away. Very, very far away. We cannot to put up with this for the next 10, 15 years. It's like, putting up with fire in your roof and you just walk around watching it burning seamlessly. That's what is going on.
All right. So today, Nnamdi Kanu appeared in court, and there was a cross-examination that took place. The defense counsel asked the witness BBB, obviously is a DSS operative. So Nnamdi Kanu's lawyer asked that, does he know the meaning of the word rendition? And the witness said that he knows the meaning, but he doesn't know how they operate. So he now asked him, so are you saying you're not aware that it was the DSS people that arrested Nnamdi Kanu in Kenya? And that is obviously Erokoro is one of the defense legal practitioners defending Nnamdi Kanu, and he says that he doesn't know who arrested Nnamdi Kanu, but that he's very sure that it is not the DSS, that their security is an internal security and they do not work outside the shores of Nigeria. So the cross-examination now went on to ask the witness about the crisis for Lagos State, where the DSS accused Kanu of inciting people to burn government buildings and vehicles. And he was asking them, how many buses did they burn? What is the model of the buses? Can he name at least one person they knew who followed that particular order from Nnamdi Kanu to burn the vehicles? And obviously the supporters of Nnamdi Kanu, whom he disclosed to the court, were the ones who burnt down the Lagos State blue vehicles, at those buses and other checkpoints that he asked them to go ahead and destroy, including that police stations in Enugu State. And the witness couldn't actually identify, but he literally said that. Can you hear me, sir?
I would do.
But the witness literally said that it was Nnamdi Kanu's order that inspired his followers to do that. So one of the questions is this: if it was not the DSS, and according to what this man said, that brought Nnamdi Kanu back to Nigeria, who did? The Kenyan government at the time denied any involvement of his extraordinary rendition. So is it Interpol? Are there foreign persons, intelligence agencies that are very discreet that enabled the process of bringing him back to the country? And then obviously the 1 billion naira that the court had asked that the federal government pay him for invading his home at the time, why has that money not been paid?
Yeah, they have to enforce the fundamental. You see, when the court gives judgment, the money is not just paid like that. You have to enforce the judgment. It's done by either any of the garnishing proceedings or writ of fire, or a procedure must be adopted to get the money. Okay, It's not automatic. It's not automatic. As one of the kind of extrajudicial rendition, I think it was the Interpol. It was a joint operation. Okay, it was a joint operation that did that in coalition with the Kenyan authority.
Okay.
Okay. Yes, in coalition with the okay, so they cannot. Nobody can say that they were not involved, and the witness himself is not being truth. He's not a witness of truth, as far as I'm concerned, because he's raising a lot of questions and not forthcoming. Even though we are not supposed to preempt the outcome, we can talk about what we see and what we observe. There's no law against that.
All right, sir. Thank you so much. I sincerely do appreciate you giving us insight. However, what would you say about the Peter-Atiku and El-rufai coalition? El-rufai, saying that Tinubu will come back to Lagos, affirming that the discussions had been concluded as of last night, and beyond that, physically, how do you see this combination?
I think that people should stay away from Atiku.
Sir?
People should stay away from Atiku. We should stay away from Atiku.
We should stay away from Atiku.
Yes, we should stay away from Atiku. Atiku, you see what Peter did when he told Atiku that this coalition I'm talking about, my own coalition is the one that will fight against hunger and poverty and the rest of that. That's what I believe. That's what I want to do. What Peter did there was the old man's way. An old man's way of advising another old man. Peter Obi knows that Atiku's ambition is just to become a president. Nothing concerns him. He just wants to be a president. Therefore, that will be an afterthought. Peter Obi knows. So Peter Obi indirectly was speaking to him when he said, the coalition I know that I understand and I want is the one against poverty, the one against poverty for the Nigerian people that will uplift the lives of the people and to give cater for their welfare. And as such, I don't think that is what Atiku is up for. So that's why I say it should stay away from Atiku completely. If there's any way you can do, stay away from Atiku. Atiku have no political capital. Okay? Atiku have no capital. So Peter Obi who have a lot of hope, should stay away from him. If El-rufai has something to offer, Peter Obi will work with El-rufai better than anything he can put together with Atiku.
You would prefer El-rufai to work with Peter Obi than Atiku?
Atiku is a great distraction in this whole thing. He's just moving about looking for who to deceive. All those ones is telling you that it's going to be one term. Atiku will not really put any one term to anybody. He will not do it. I know him very well.
All right. Barrister Evans Ufeli, thank you so much. I sincerely do appreciate your insights. Let's get people's reaction on the topical issues discussed on the Evening Rush. Thank you so much, Barrister Evans.
My pleasure.
All right. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for us to get your reaction on the conversation that we had this evening. We spoke on quite a lot. I really wish that we had more time because there were quite a lot of other questions I wanted to ask. For example, the nomination for the APC, for example, right now is 20 in quarterly. We just hear one group come out and give us their whatever, killing people at random. That's also one thing I want to get your perspective on. The padding of the budget, 6-point-something trillion naira. Ghost projects by this House of Rep members exposed by budget. I'm waiting for a recount from them by tomorrow. They will deny such a thing. It's normal, is expected. So I don't know if the president will set up a committee to investigate this, because anytime there is a truth, they don't let us know. They either tamp it down or make it seem as if the organization that went through the investigation were false, like what happened with Now Fund. They came and denied it the following day that is not true, or the NBS that made a couple of revelations and made a compilation stating the truth, and then
the country is lawless. That is the reason why insurgency can both tell a chief commander of a soldier that they are this. Who are they? Who are they? When mercenary came to this country, they used GPROS on that drone. That drone is not ordinary. How many Nigerians have trained How many have Nigeria trained before they can import drones? Before you import something of that sensitive nature, you have to train enough citizens. There is a drone counter drones. But how many Nigerians know about it? These are what where APC is going to. What El-rufai say, as your guest rightly said, it is growth and mean disappointed. When somebody is disappointed, he will find his way to see what he can do. Yes, let us watch what he can do. Peter-Atiku and the rest of them, Peter Obi should fight for Labour Party. Like the guest you used 6 o'clock, what is rightly said.
Yes.
Peter Obi should make sure Labour Party is a strong, formidable force under him. One of your guests, is it the one barrister, one of your always said that Peter Obi has never done anything. This is the time for you. Now, somebody is one of his the components is about to see how he can turn things around. This is the time for Peter Obi to take the bull by horn. If they are moving, they will move in a very solid manner. The way ACN and CPC and others collapse together and come to this kind of government we are trying to battle. I pray God will help us, all of us, and as we work collectively, we should look at these 4 cardinal points.
Yeah.
If it's going to be the failure of this government, time is coming, we also present it to them. Thank you, Esther.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I sincerely do appreciate that. That was intellectually put. It was a very intelligent pointer you raised there. Hello, good evening. How are you?
Hello, good evening, Esther.
Good evening. How are you?
I'm fine.
Well done. I am fine. What's your name?
My name is Emmanuel from Lagos.
All right. You sound like you're chilling. All right, go ahead.
Okay. I want to talk about the police brutality.
Okay.
Okay. I've had an experience. When these police people, like these police officers, when they arrest civilians, what they do is that they're after their money, like your one of your guests, the barrister. They're after your money. So what they do is when they take these civilians, they arrest them, maybe especially in Lagos, lately at night. They take them to their stations and they try to threaten them and be like, if you don't bail yourself, they will take you to task force and know all manner of threats. And when they keep threatening them, before they tell them that they should pay themselves before morning, and they take them to task force, from task force to prisons. So this those they arrested, they now be forced to pay certain amounts of money. So that's how they are not after any citizens' safety. They're just after their money, extorting money from people. Whenever they arrest anyone at night, they just keep. This thing is alarming in Lagos State, especially at night. They arrest people every day, and they make a lot of money from it. Okay, it's worrisome, seriously. It's worrisome in Lagos State.
It is.
I just want to tell you this.
Thank you very much. It is. It's not just in Lagos. Look at the latest development that took place. It's sad. To be honest with you, it's sad. Hello, good evening. Now, turn down the volume of your radio, please. When you call, turn it down completely.
I'm already.
What's your name?
Hello. Yeah, Chief's calling from Aja.
All right, Chooks, go ahead.
Good night. Good evening.
Good evening.
I greet Marisa.
Thank you very much.
It's one of the best analysts in your station.
Okay.
Very balanced and devoid of any ethnic twist or whatever, and going straight to the point. So now what I want to say concerning the issue of coalition, because I've already told you, there is nothing you discuss that is not giving Nigeria the roadmap where we are going. At of this time, I think is no. To me, what I mean is that the thing is between Nigerians and the
ruling party.
Politicians. Yes, and Nigerians are in the ruling party. That is the issue. These Nigerians that you are talking about, they are there. The only thing that I have as a difference with Barrister's attention is that of Atiku. I don't know how we are going to do it because of the loss. Because now, the only thing that can solve PDP problem is, according to my own postulate, let Obi defect to PDP and club it out. Yes, with Wike.
With a Wike there, go possible,
Yes.
It's gone, including that of Rivers. You are hearing now that Fubara has decided, supposedly, to work in tandem with those that were possibly causing the rift between him or causing the problem he had while he was the governor before he was suspended. So there is a tendency that Nyesom Wike and Fubara will resolve, conditions will be met and agreed that Fubara did not want to agree to in the first place. So I don't know what people are talking about. Oh, Peter will be joined PDPK. Hello, 080-3692-9933. That's the number to call. Hello, good evening. How are you?
Hello.
Hello, good evening. How are you?
Good evening. I'm fine, Miss Esther.
Hi, what's your name?
This is Edith calling from Afulusu.
Edith. I love your voice, Edith. Please go ahead.
Thank you. First time caller.
Hey, let me ring the bell for you. Please be patient. Welcome. Please go ahead.
Thank you. You see, the situation in this country is just God that will save us.
Wallahi.
With the politicians, they are not helping things, and even with ourselves as individuals, we are not helping matters.
Is that all, Edith?
Yes,
when you say we're not helping matters, in what way, please? Are you saying we're not speaking in one voice? Are you saying that we're not holding them accountable?
We are not speaking in one voice. And sometimes we criticize them, but some of us will even do worse than that.
All right. Thank you very much, Edith, for calling. Very short and simple. All right, 080-3692-9933, and the WhatsApp number is 0817-1756-338. That is the WhatsApp number. Hello, good evening. How are you?
Hello, I'm fine. Good evening.
Good evening. What's your name, sir?
I'm Smith calling from Ikoyi.
Chris from Ikoyi.
Yes, Smith from Ikoyi.
All right, please go ahead, sir.
Concerning the coalition,
yes,
what I believe is that Peter-Atiku should work with El-rufai.
Okay.
Why I believe El-rufai is that anything El-rufai says, just give it some time, it will come to reality. That is what that is El-rufai for you.
El-rufai is saying that they are going to send Tinubu back to Lagos, and that based on the conversation they had yesterday, they have come to an agreement, Peter Obi and Atiku, to unseat Tinubu, and that he's very, very certain that anybody believing that Tinubu will win in 2027 is a lie. He said it with so much confidence. So are you saying that what he's permutating is true?
I believe in that coalition that they had meeting yesterday. I believe that meeting. Yes, because El-rufai is the kind of person that he doesn't hide anything. If you say this is black and it's black, go and check.
So this coalition now, who will be their ticket bearer?
I don't know who will be their ticket bearer, but this coalition is meant to happen.
Okay. No wahala.
All
Thank
right.
you. Thank you for calling. 080-3692-9933. 080-3692-9933. That's the number to call. The WhatsApp number is 0817-1756-338. You can send your messages there. Hello, good evening. How are you?
Hello, good evening.
Hi. Good evening. I'm happy this evening we're having females calling. What's your name?
My name is Tony from Idimu.
Toyin from City Mall.
Idimu.
Is it your first time?
Yes, this is also my first time.
Oh my God, you guys, your brain gasming me. Go ahead, please. Go ahead.
Okay. So I want to go straight to the point.
Please do.
Is Kwapato not vying for
Vice
coalition?
Well, what El-rufai did not mention Kwankwaso.
Because I would have preferred Kwapato to El-rufai and Atiku.
Okay.
Yes. And regarding Peter Obi, I would have preferred if he was the presidential candidate and then he picks any of these northerners as the vice. Or Atiku, no. I would have preferred Kwankwaso.
All right.
not El-rufai.
Okay.
Then, secondly, I want Nigerians to be very careful.
Okay.
You know what's happening?
Mm-mm.
The government is recognizing poverty and hardship. And I think they want to break our spirit so that by the time it is close to election, maybe 3 to 6 months to election, they now come with all these, maybe Derrica of rice, whatever money, whatever incentive or stipend they want to give. Because when somebody is hungry and they're at the point of maybe death, and you give them this succor, they've forgotten that you are the problem that caused that hardship in their life. And unfortunately, we have this history of forgetting, because when these people come with promises and monetary stipends, we forget and we feel like, okay, let's just give them a chance, and then they repent it. Because they will do that, because look at the way they are spreading money. You know, you need money to be able to win people over.
Yes.
It's like a man, if he wants to seduce you, he will use money to do whatever he can to sway you to like it.
That's what's currently going on.
That is exactly what is going to happen. Just watch out and see.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you. But
you.
if you recall, so you can call the call. Let me explain to you. So if you remember something, the first time we had, I think that was last year. Yes, towards the end of last year, when Pat Utomi was talking about this mega measure of political parties. Pat Utomi said they were working on a coalition of top members of this opposition, which included Peter Obi, Atiku Abubakar, Kwankwaso, the presidential candidate for the New Nigerian People's Party then. He said that they were all going to come together, that political party will unseat Tinubu. This was like last year, barely a year to this administration's commencement then. Now, Kwankwaso came out and said any coalition that is being formed and that he is not the presidential candidate, he's not going to be part of it. So there have been talks towards Kwankwaso. We even heard that Kwankwaso was going to defect to the APC. Later, Kwankwaso said all of those things are not true, that they are the works of mischief makers and people should stop permutating with his name. So I don't know if Kwankwaso is involved or a part of any coalition at this moment, because Kwankwaso said if there's going to be a coalition, he would be the flag bearer of that political party. So I recall that one very well. This same Pat Utomi who is being sued by the DSS for establishing a shadow government. So yeah, that's it. Hello, good evening. How are you? Good evening, sir. What's your name, sir? Thank you. What's your name, sir?
My name is The Truth.
From the town of Injustice.
The Truth. The Truth.
From the town of Injustice, right?
God bless you.
Okay.
You are wonderful.
Thank you very much.
I thank God for what is happening in this country. God's will prevail. By the grace of God, inshallah. Those people who are coming now, they will show them pepper. Obi alone with the masses are ready to show them pepper. Obi alone. El-rufai is now joining, and the third man, Atiku.
Yeah, he
said the masses are ready with these three people.
So they sealed the deal.
They should prepare. They will see fire.
You shit? Fire, ganga. All right. Thank you, Mr. The Truth. 08036929933. I don't know if it is safe to disclose anything now because I don't know. You just start seeing Wahala emerge from nowhere. Hello, good evening. How are you?
Hello, madam.
Hi, good evening, sir. What's your name?
Dr. Pum Ojo.
All right, sir. Calling from where?
Ojo.
From Ojo. All right, go ahead, sir.
If you are traveling in the journey, by the time you step out and the sun is coming back, but you get into the road.
Doctor, are you using an earpiece?
No,
you're fading, so you go muffled and then come back clearer. So I don't know.
Are you hearing me?
Yes, I can hear you now. All right,
okay.
Continue.
Okay. So what I'm saying that during the day, signing, when you get to the middle of the day, and
can you call back later, please? Kindly call back later. So you come out clear and then you go muffled. So I don't know what you're using, or maybe if you're putting your mouth. Sorry. Hello, good evening. How are you?
Hello, good evening. Esther.
Is this Joy?
Yes, it's Joy.
Joy.
Esther, please, don't be annoyed, please. Esther, my radio got for this. I can't live without radio. It's my companion.
Okay.
No, I don't have anybody. It's radio. One guy from this place bought me a radio last 2 years.
Okay.
That one has failed. And this button phone that I'm using, he says don't fall.
So you want another radio?
New radio, not call my number now.
Send a text message.
I can't send.
You can't send text. You can't send WhatsApp.
The state of this one don't blind. I know if then I call the number.
No, you can't call it on air, please. Just try and tell someone to send a message for you, please. Just send a message. I beg. Thank you. Thank you very much, Joy. All right. Thank you so much. Just send a message. 08036929933. 08036929933. That's the number. Hello. Good evening. How are you?
Hello. Good evening.
Good evening, sir. What's your name? Your voice sounds low.
Israel from Badagry.
Israel.
Yeah, from Badagry.
All right, Mr. Israel. Good evening to you. Please go ahead.
Yes. In this issue of coalition. Politics in Nigeria requires a lot of money.
True.
And the present government, they are ready to do anything. If it was turning the woman Nigeria out to retain the certain government, they will do it. So in the coalition, they should look for people who are able to, although the Nigerian the parents will do a lot. But for me, they should think out how to fight this government because they are ready to do anything. That's what people are defending. That's not that because the government is working. Because they know that the only solution during government help is how to maneuver, how to read the election. That's my contribution.
Thank you very much for calling. I sincerely do appreciate 08036929933. That's the number to call. I'll take 2 more calls and read out the messages, okay? 08036929933. Hello, good evening. How are you?
Hello.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening, Esther.
Good evening. What's your name?
Miracle from Oshodi.
Is this your first time?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh my God. You guys, I'm happy. The women are calling in. Go ahead, please. Go ahead. Hello. Go ahead.
Hello.
I can hear you. Go ahead, please.
I think we are not putting much effort. Really, people are not putting more effort into like protesting for to end bad governance. Even though we are doing much, but I think we are scared. We're scared of the government, scared of what they can do and all. It's very bad as Nigerians are. We, the people, don't even have the rights. You can't do anything. We're just sitting and watching. Every day I see my parents grumbling. I don't even understand. Even jam, everything is just tiring to do. I don't know what to say.
Sorry.
I don't know. Every day I listen to the show and every day I'm crying for the who are in the north. Killings everywhere. Everything is just bad. Everything is just bad.
So sorry about that. To be honest with you, I think Nigerians are just tired. And it's so wrong that the opposition, those who are meant to be the voices, they're meant to help, like spearhead it can't. Because you saw what happened during the end bad governance, the 10 days of rage. You saw what happened now. Some of them are languishing in prison. You see what is going on. So they've psychologically chainsawed the people. But like you said, we will continue to speak out. I mean, that's why we have conversations here. All right. Thank you very much for calling it. 08036929933. The women are doing me proud today. Nigerians are waking up. You need to wake up, and the government needs to listen to our cry. That's the important thing. They need to listen to our cry. Hello. Good evening. How are you? Hello. Hello. Good evening. How are you? What's your name?
My name is Chiboy, calling from Isolo.
All right, Chiboy from Isolo, please go ahead. Hello, Chiboy. Chiboy, your network no good. Oh, okay. Please try and call back. Let me take some messages. I'll start up from YouTube. Abidin Adeyemo, my good friend. Good evening, Esther. Good evening to you. Obed Oji, Princess Esther, is the judiciary and INEC. They are the ones creating the ambiguous situation in Labour Party. Analyst Fred Nzako spoke my mind yesterday during the evening rush via the telephone. Thank you very much. Any coalition that will not present a southerner for president to complete 8 years will fall woefully. Quote me, this is where I belong. I have been saying this here and I will continue to say it. Okay, Obed Oji, well done. Ibrahim Zubairu, El-rufai is a big name. Abidin, let's examine the character of politicians forming a coalition against Tinubu for 2027. Many have questionable integrity and unresolved corruption cases, including Babachir Lawal and Bala Mohammed Yusuf. Agreed. Bala Ahmed Yusuf. Very right, Abidin. Nasir El-rufai and Atiku Abubakar, their president at all cost mentality is concerning. My advice for Peter Obi is to focus on restructuring the Labour Party, educating his supporters as well. Very good. Nuanced Nigerian politics and avoiding divisive rhetoric. By engaging directly with Nigerians on pressing issues, he can build broader appeal and potentially win over more people, including myself. Abidin, for the very first time, I'm quite impressed with your suggestions. This is beautiful. Well, Peter Obi has not come out to tell us if this thing that Atiku El-rufai is telling us is the truth, because like I told you, the Labour Party via the Nanalu Usman faction held a National Executive Council meeting. They invited the press. They want to take over the Labour Party and they're no longer going to allow the nuances of Julius Abure. So yeah, so we're going to wait on what Peter Obi will say next, and as well as Alex Oti. Ken E, our society is crumbling and we're busy talking about 2027. Okay, we're discussing on other issues as well. Let's just hope that the right thing is done by those in government. Swill Nwa, I will prefer he works with Atiku. Another El-rufai will produce more insurgencies. Ekipo Victor, good evening, VOP. I'm chatting from Cameroon. Thank you very much. Collins, okay boy, be ready for electoral reform protest on the 30th of May. Tinubu must go 2027. Okay. We don't hear. All right, let me go on to WhatsApp. Good evening. Greetings to Esther and the guest. Daniel Bola said, if Peter Obi could not manage Fidelity Bank well, how can he manage Nigeria? I also asked him, if he managed Atiku's presidential campaign well, would he have dumped Atiku and accepted a mockery job in APC again? I challenge him to tell Nigerians the name of the bank Fidelity Bank merged with by the time most banks were distressed. He can testify that if Obi did not do well, his bank would have merged with another bank the way most other banks merged together then. So it's a very big shame that after mocking Tinubu like tomorrow no day, yet went to pick some crumbs that fell from Tinubu's table. Is that not laughable? Tony from Okota. Tony, you're on fire. See roasting. Otutuoma, Tony. Okay, no, this is not for me. This is not for me. Good evening, VOP. My name is Mohammed from Maza. Mr. Tinubu is coming back because it is not a good... Mr. Tinubu is coming back to because he's not a good leader. God bless VP. Mr. Mohammed, I don't understand though. Which one you mean? Good evening, Queen. Esther VP Shakanade from Alaba Oro. I see light at the end of the tunnel truly. If there will be a coming together of parties. Hey, you used my term. You see, there is a tunnel. There is lights. You would always tell me, Esther, which tunnel, which light. Okay. So, good evening, Esther. The case of Nnamdi Kanu is in court. All right. Emeka Barris, let him not throw light on this. Emeka from Abansai State. Okay. Good evening to you. Peter Obi should be running me to Atiku if he wants to become president of Nigeria in future. Leo from Lagos. All right. Thank you. Esther, good evening, and I salute your analyst. Esther, why are you pained? Were you not in Nigeria when the governor of Bauchi State said categorically that he had invited Fulani from all Africa to come and take over Nigeria because they are more Nigerian even than you and I? It was because of them they did need a national ID cards, and up till now, all our security officials turned deaf ears to it. What a shame. We all day here. All I know is that the battle is by the Lord. Okay? Good evening, Esther. Good evening, VOP. If an entity fails to fulfill its responsibilities, consequences will follow. The Nigerian army struggles against Boko Haram have emboldened the terrorists, who now feel confident enough to confront them directly. To regain control, the army must redouble its efforts and eliminate the terrorist threats. Regarding Nasir El-rufai's claims about President Tinubu's 2027 election prospects, they are premature, as Peter Obi hasn't committed to any coalition with El-rufai and Atiku Abubakar. Meanwhile, Julius Abure's tenure as Labour Party chairman expired last year, rendering his actions as chairman illegitimate. It's uncertain what direction Peter Obi's political career will take. I advise him to make timely decisions to maintain his supporters' enthusiasm. Mr. Ogumbi from Idimu. Very beautiful submission, Mr. Ogumbi. Thank you so much. Good evening, Esther. For this rubber stamp Senate, it's the worst in history. They only think about their money, luxurious lifestyle, and their eye service and hypocrisy for this government. Like they say, loyalty for this government is cash and carry. Look at the padded budget. Also, they haven't passed electoral reforms. You haven't passed bill of execution of any corrupt people in power. They didn't pass state police bill. They didn't remove your president for his lack of capacity, incompetence, visionless, and wasteful looting of our national cake, where they have turned the people to beggars and are marginal in the midst of plenty due to their obnoxious policies. The nation to a gangster paradise, and now you want to make it mandatory for people to vote? What was done to MC Oloma and Akbar is stopping people from voting in Lagos, saying if you don't vote APC in 2023 elections, go home. Also remember, they said on his mandate they shall stand, and you ask, can nothing come out from this cash and carry rubber stamp Senate? It's a shame the worst of us is ruling the best of us. Truly there was a country. Dio from Fagba. Okay. Good evening, Sister Esther and VOP family. Sister Esther, why are we looking for who ordered or arrested Nnamdi Kanu when Buhari we knew did so? Why is the DSS afraid to mention Buhari's name? They are all hypocrites. For the budget party, you can now see why Akpabio said he was not elected to fight the executive, and I'm quite convinced he knew the executives are toothless packing dogs. Our military had compromised so much on the issues of insecurity and insurgency in our land, and it's a good one for them receiving more of this insult over and over again. Imagine a hoodlum challenging a chief of defense staff and the entire force of our land. I begin to wonder if this is the same Nigerian army that the wonders in the other sub-regional African countries conflict. What a shame. May God empathy continue to rest upon all VP family and friends. Akaniro Kingsley. Thank you very much, Akaniro Kingsley. Good evening, Esther and Barrister. So, the lawmakers have moved from padding billions to padding trillions. Na I see you. Na so a year amu. No wonder they are now singing on your mandate whenever he's in the house and supporters everything he says. As for El-rufai, he's just a hot-tempered short man with an ego of an elephant. From Chief Udo. All right. Good evening, Esther. If you commend Nyesom Wike for the massive improvement done in Abuja and even commend him as the best FCT minister, but you are in the habit of attacking Tinubu. You saw the improvement in the international passport processing. Give commendation to Olatunji Ojo, but you won't stop insulting Tinubu. On your way out of into Nigeria, you saw the improvement done and seamless process at the airport. Commend Festus Keyamo, but you won't stop calling Tinubu on your daily on your wall. The CBN governor Yemi Cardoso has helped with the clearing of our debts, which you can't help but admit still Tinubu is a failure. You can see the work of the work minister Umahi in every part of Nigeria. Is it the refurbished Third Mainland Bridge or the Echo Bridge, ongoing Lagos-Calabar Coastal Road, and even the Lokoja Abuja Road that is about to start? Yet Tinubu is a failure. If this category of people, you need to go for deliverance. Your case is not ordinary but spiritual. Wahala. Why didn't you tell us your name? Okay, this is Emmanuel. Emmanuel, well done. Well done for your highlight. Very beautiful. We all agree to disagree, and that's your submission. Okay, very good. Well done. Good evening, Esther. Esther, except we begin to ask the right questions, we'll continue to be deceived by this APC government. I thank God that your guest has mentioned it again now that El-rufai and his APC brought these bandits into Nigeria, and that is now out of control. If we all know this, then why are we demanding that the APC take back the bandits they imported just to oust Jonathan, who was already clearing Boko Haram with foreign mercenaries at the time, and see if the insecurity will not end immediately? That's what Nigerians should consistently be asking now. Comrade Godfrey from Surulere. All right, Comrade Godfrey, well done. Thank you for your message. Good evening, Esther. Your guest, to be realistic, I believe that the election in Nigeria doesn't depend on the masses, but on the political titans. But my fear about Atiku is that he is a northerner. Please, sorry, I know I'm sounding tribal. Please don't. Correct me if I'm wrong. Is it not the same Atiku that once said an attack on terrorists and an attack on the north? I don't think Atiku is mature enough to withstand the pressure from history. Was it Atiku that made that statement? Was it Atiku that said so? Concerning terrorism, I believe those people who run business with terrorists will easily initiate. Atiku Obi should just partner with other persons. Max from Amukoko. All right. Good evening, Esther. Good evening to you too. How do you think Alhaji Atiku Abubakar will voluntarily hand over power to Dr. Peter Obi in 2031 if Obi accepts to be his running mate for 2027 general elections? Atiku can never accept a tenure and hand over power to Obi in 2031. Power is sweet and a handler would like to keep it intact. Alhaji Atiku should play fatherly role in the 2027 election for Dr. Peter Obi and a sound known northern politician as running mate. INEC is another problem of Labour Party. Have a splendid night, Esther. Correct from Bariga. Thank you. Correct. Onyebuchi Arodiogbu from Ojo, good evening, dear VOP. My own permutations are Peter-Atiku President or Shibajo Vice President, Malam Nasir El-rufai, Chief of Staff to the Government of the Federation. As a strong supporter of Peter-Atiku, Peter-Atiku is above to be vice to anybody. I will follow him until he gets the power, no matter how long it takes, so far as there is life. All right. Good evening, Esther. Please, as regards the terrorists, I urge the government to keep mute on any action or moves they intend taking. The moment they blow their trumpet, the terrorists will be informed by their insider amongst the army of our politicians. God bless Nigeria. Folarin Keshi Olakunle from Surulere, Lagos. Thank you. Good evening, Wanyoma. I want you to know that Atiku will not succumb to Wantanier. He is more dangerous than all that have ruled this country. If power dares get into his hands, Nigeria is finished. Take my word. All right. Good evening, Esther. The way the insecurity in the country is going, it seems like our beloved country has been sold out. We don't need a sorcerer to tell us that the government has a hand in the insecurity issue. Peter Obi seems like our only hope right now, and I pray he makes the right decisions before the next elections. All right. Thank you very much, Jay. Esther, budget is very right. Here in Ikorodu, where I reside, Federal Ministry of Agriculture is a client of the road contracts in Ebute Ikorodu. One cannot help wonder how such an anomaly became a normalcy in this era, and Senator Tokumbo Abiru becomes a co-sponsor. Thanks, OK Ifedi. If you name top 20 Nigerian politicians that are powerful and well-known, they're all notorious and evil, but yet they command a lot of followers and supporters. That tells you that the citizens are actually the problem of the country. So we have strong and mighty individuals instead of strong institutions. Ororo from Ayobo. Mayoma Esther, good evening, and how is work? Good evening to you too. A good job you're doing. Thank you. What happened to your voice? Please do take care of your mental health. Let Nigeria Wahala not weigh you down. Oh, well done, Mrs. Ikechukwu. Mrs. Ikechukwu, thank you so much. My studio is cold, but I like it all. I'm not complaining because it was hot one time. But thank you so much for your concern. Peter Obi should please stay away from Atiku because Nigeria is zoned north and south. Why is it that Atiku, being a northerner, wants to cause problem on his noble arrangement? If not, trying to cause confusion. In fact, he's a spoiler. He should allow the north-south arrangement to be balanced. This political confusion, unless the north is not sincere on this decision. Chinedu from Badagry. All right, I think that's all the messages we can take right about now because we have Kudos in the house wanting to actually give us insight on investment. Kudos, how are you?
Very fine. Good evening, Esther.
Good evening.
Good
Welcome.
evening, Lagos.
Good evening.
So once again, I'm Victor Osumoke from Kudos Homes Limited, and I'm here to bring all the wonderful opportunities that Kudos Homes is offering everyone out there that would love to own a property investment. Okay, so in Omuketu Ekpe, where we have Kudos Heritage. Now remember, Kudos Heritage was selling or is selling for 2.5 million naira, but we are currently running a promo that will make it affordable for everyone. So when it was 2.5, if you have been saying, I want to get a plot of land, you've been saving money to get a plot of land, but you've not been able to get a plot, now you can get it for just 950,000 naira. So instead of 2.5, you can now own a plot of land with just 950,000. That is the discount that we are giving. That's almost 70% discount on Kudos Heritage Omuketu Ekpe. Now we also have Kudos City that is located in Agbowa, Ikorodu. Kudos City is currently selling for 1.5 million naira per plot, and we also have Kudos Height, which is also located in Omuketu Ekpe. Kudos Height is also selling for 4.5 million naira per plot. So the good thing, if you want Kudos Heritage is now selling for 950,000 at our promo price. Instead of 2.5, you can get Kudos Heritage for just 950,000 naira. Now let me quickly call my phone number for you. The number is 0905 904 7514 0905 904 7514. Now the good thing about this is that the estate is a perfectly dry land and it's free from government acquisition, and there will be no omonile wahala, no form of government disturbance on the land when you purchase it. And Ekpe is having so many numerous developments coming towards that axis. So what are you waiting for? It's now to own your own plot of land in the heart of Ekpe with just 950,000 naira. Also in Delta State, we have the Fairview Estate Phase 2, which is located in Ibuzo main town, and it's selling for 2.5 million naira. We have the Kudos Height also in Ibuzo. Kudos Height is selling for 1.5 million naira per plot, and we also have the Kudos Court, which is the buy and build estate. Kudos Court is located in Ibuzo as well, and is selling for just 4.5 million naira. Now, the beautiful thing is this: Ibuzo is a fast rising city in Delta State. That is why all these estates are located in Ibuzo. Now, Ibuzo is very close to the Asaba International Airport, just 5 minutes away from Asaba International Airport, and it's also close to the first and second Niger Bridge. So if you have been thinking, where will I invest in Delta State? Where can I own a property in Delta State? You can invest in any of our property in Ibuzo. Now, let me call my phone number one more time. The number to call is 0905 904 7514. 0905 904 7514. Now, don't forget, the promo is still on with Kudos Heritage Omuketu Ekpe. Instead of 2.5 million naira, you can own it with just 950,000. Now, tomorrow we'll be going for inspection. We go for inspection every Thursdays and Saturday. So we'll be going for inspection. If you would love to come and see what it looks like in any of our estates, it is free, so you can join us. Our office address is at number 171 Egbeda Idimo Road, Abule Udu bus stop, Egbeda, Lagos. You can come to our office, or you tell us the nearest location to your place. We have different pickup points. We'll direct you to one of our pickup points, and you can join us to go and see any of our sites here in Lagos. In Delta State, we go for inspection every day of the week, excluding on Sunday. You can go from Mondays to Saturday, excluding on Sunday. We have our office in Delta State. You can visit anytime. We'll give you the address. The number again to call is 0905 904 7514. 0905 904 7514. So don't miss out on this opportunity, because it's time for you to become a proud landlord. You can catch us on social media. We are on Facebook at Kudos Homes Limited. We are on Instagram at Kudos Homes Limited, and our website is www.kudoshomesLimited.com. So you need to seize this opportunity to become a landlord. Just come with your 950,000 and you'll be a proud landowner at Kudos Heritage Omuketu Ekpe instead of 2.5. So don't miss out. Now, let me call the number one more time before I go. Now, the number is 0905 904 7514. 0905 904 7514. So start investing today so that you will reap big in the future.
Thank you so much, Peters, for that. I sincerely do appreciate you for that particular investment talk. Ladies and gentlemen, we need to wrap up today's program. It's already 2 minutes gone past the hour of 9 o'clock. I simply do appreciate all your messages, but the truth is this: if President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has not declared to contest in 2027, then there is a strong possibility. But I do hope, whichever way it is that these political elites are working together, it should be about the interests of the people. Nigerians have suffered too much for their destinies to be used on a chessboard of who dies, who stays, and how do we use them. It's gone beyond that, and I think Nigerians are waking up to that responsibility. I feel the pulse of Nigerians, and I thought that this would be a clarion call to those in power to mend their ways and prioritize or reprioritize. Stop self-interest, stop inflating, stop pocketing just for yourself. For once, please. National Assembly, House of Rep, for once, I beg you, consider people. Consider the people you're representing there. It's not about you and the executive and the president and all whatnot. For once, try. It's important that you pass a bill that reflects the needs of the people, that resolves issues, that solves problems. You pass a bill that is immediate. You don't stall and dilly-dally and whatever without having to pass money around yourselves, without having to lobby. It's very vital that you do so. Please, House of Rep, Nigerian Senate, make that your mandate. I don't even think Nigerians care who controls, who rules, or who's at the helm of affairs. So long as you are doing what is right by you and the people, they don't mind. You can stay there for 100 years. So long as the economic condition is enabling them, things are going on well, there is security, they can eat, education is good, access to healthcare is good, there is food. I think if this basic amenities and social welfare is provided, nobody would care if you stay in the presidency for 100 years. I mean, I'm just saying. All right, my name is Esther Wachiko. Good evening to you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.